So
Yeah, it's very, very, very interesting.
All right, we're going to get started. So I encouraged everyone to come, and
2 people.
and I got 2 people here when all the rest of the classes I've had,
they
5
scared
or
you away,
6.
Russ. What happened?
But I've had 5 or 6 people, and then I encourage, hey, everybody come live, and
I got scared.
the 2, most important people came.
You got it. Well said.
No offense on Zoom. Sorry, guys. Just kidding. So anyway, before we get started though, I'm going to just let Crystal talk for just a minute. And Crystal's with North Star Title, so
Yep.
Fire away.
Oh, there's 4 people walking in.
There we go.
Hi. Hello.
There we go. We're getting some.
No tables?
No tables
No
today.
tables today.
You'll see why.
All right, so you guys see my face throughout this whole class. Just wanted to come in and say a final hi. Next week I'll be teaching a PR class, so how to read a PR, what to look out for. It'll be next Tuesday at the same time. So Sam, our title officer, will also be joining me on that call. So that's another time for you to come in and ask a lot of questions. And then now that your class is wrapped up, if you wanted to schedule a time with me to meet, to kind of go over the escrow process, talk about how to read a CD, how to personally read a PR. I meet with agents one-on-one. Russ can hand out my information if you're not here in person. Like I said, feel free to reach out with any title question, and I'm more than happy to help you guys get going on this. So,
Cool.
yep.
Okay.
That's all I have.
So yeah, she's going to teach you guys on Tuesday. Go through the PR and stuff. So
Bye, guys.
that'll be awesome. Thanks, Crystal. All right. So I'm hoping that we'll get a few more people to join us in person here, but if not, it'll be okay. Ed's coming?
Yeah.
Okay. And I know we've had Swen here in person every time, but he said he had something going today. He wasn't going to be able to be here, and somebody else told me they weren't. So anyway, all right. Well, I was banking on having a bunch of people in person, so I got to rethink how to make this work here. I really thought I could trust you guys. I'm kidding. It's fine. All right, so what we're going to do today, I mentioned to you guys that we're going to be playing Jeopardy today. So how we're going to do this, so I'm still, like I say, to some extent, kind of still figuring out how I'm going to make this best work here for us. But what I need you guys to do, though, is go to buzzin.live. So you guys that are on Zoom, you can see it already. You guys that are here with me in person will be able to see this in just a second here. And so what we're going to play Jeopardy, which Ginger was on yesterday. We're playing a different version of Jeopardy today. So
Because I already know all the answers.
yeah, she already knows. Oh, here we go. We're getting more people showing up. I'm getting excited now. All right. No, you're good. So so what I need you guys to do though is go to this buzzin.live, and then let me get that shared here. Enter in this code 701211, and then you'll put your name in there. So here's what I was thinking we were going to do is I was thinking we were going to just do, maybe, I don't know. You guys tell me what you want to do. We can do this as, we can have multiple teams, meaning we could have 2 teams on Zoom and 2 in person. I can randomly just mix you up between Zoom or in person. Do you have any preferences on that?
No.
We have 20 people on Zoom here.
2.
So let's see.
What's the code? 701?
Here's what I'm going to do. Here's how we're going to do this. It's, 701211. All right, so once you guys all get put in here, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to create, I don't know, let's see, 4 teams. So I'm just going to randomly, I will assign you a team in here on this. So let me create the teams here. Hang on one sec.
Can I be with my husband?
Maybe. So So I'm just gonna assign you guys random numbers here, just going kind of in order here. And you should be able to see which team you're on your thing there. All right. So I'm just doing this kind of in a random order. We're doing it kind of schoolyard pickish.
Oh, it's fun.
Oh, this stuff wrecks me.
Does it?
Yes, like even playing games with my kids, I get all nervous.
All right, let's see. I'm almost there, so bear with me for just a minute.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's see here. I think I've pretty much got everyone assigned here, so. If we have others join in, then we'll add them. So, okay, so for you guys that are on Zoom, again, let's start with, make sure you put your first and last name and your license number in there. And the people that are with me here live are going to sign in, so we're good that way. All right. Is everyone good and ready to go here?
Yep.
All right. People are testing out their buzzers, which is great.
Who's team 3? How do I know?
I think it's only you.
Oh, no, I'm on
Oh,
team
boy.
3. Me?
Okay. We ready to do this? You guys want lights on or probably off? It's easier
Off
for
is
you guys,
easier.
right? Okay. Everybody on Zoom ready? Let me just see here what we've got in the chat box, if anything. All right. I'm seeing some yes and readies. All right, here we go. So we've got the code in there. Here's what we're gonna do then. So let me get to the game board. All right, so here's what it looks like. So we've got 5 different categories that we're gonna be working through here. And the first one is agency. Second column's agency continued. Then there's contracts, federal laws, and state laws. So now let me kind of bring you guys up to speed of why we're doing what we're doing here. So as part of the 12-hour new agent CE, for you to get 12 hours of CE, and the name of the class being 12-hour new agent, is there's certain things that the division says we have to talk about and cover in order for you to get that. And so we've covered pretty much everything, but there's a few things that that we haven't covered yet. And so that's what we're going to do today with this. So I know I had a few people. So I was in St. George yesterday and I did the mandatory residential, which I do that as a Jeopardy class as well. And so I know Ginger did that yesterday, and I had some people that are online that are in St. George that were live with me yesterday. Some of the questions will be the same, but not all. So some will be review, but for the most part, we're going to hit other things. So with that being said, here's what we're going to do. So here's how we're going to decide. Let me clear all the buzzers out, which the game board I think should work better than it did yesterday. Yesterday I had a whiteboard and I had to go put an X on there. So don't let me do that today on the screen if I try to. All right. So so here's what we're going to do is we're going to jump in and do that. So let me see who has, let me see if there's a team that has less people on it. Oh, this isn't giving me the numbers, so never mind. All right, first person to buzz in, their team goes first. All right, Ed.
All right.
Team 3. So team 3 gets to choose. Did he end up on the same team as you?
Yeah.
I didn't even try to. All right. So team 3 is going to choose first. Now let me make sure everybody else understands how all this works. Is what we're going to do is team 3 gets to choose here. Let me write the scores up here on the board. which Ginger almost single-handedly yesterday won just against all the other people.
Awesome.
And some of the questions are reviews, so you might hope you're on her team. I don't know. All right.
Yeah, I'm with Lourdes and Ed. I think we've got it.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, are you?
I
Uh-oh.
was praying for
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
Do we have any other team three in
All
here?
right.
Are you three are the team threes? What, so what, for in person, which teams are you guys on? 1, 4, 4,
Three.
1. All right, so we got 2 1s, 2 4s, and 3 3s. All right, that works. Okay, so team 3 is going to choose, but now let me just make sure everybody knows how this is going to work. Team 3 will choose the category, but any of the teams can answer. So you don't have to, it's not team 3 that's the only one that gets to answer. So to begin with, until I start to see it be like people are just buzzing in, just to buzz in, then meaning like before I've even read the question, then so we'll go with whoever buzzes in first to begin with, but after a while I'll start to mix it up. Now, if you answer wrong, your team loses however many points are on the board there. Make sense? And let's see. What else? Seems like there was one other thing I was going to say.
Whoops.
You're fine.
That's real sensitive.
Yes. So, what else was I going to say? Oh, help me remember to give you the points because I will forget. So you'll have to remind me to write your points, which I'm keeping track of on the board over here. All right, we ready to go? If I think of anything else that I'm forgetting to tell you, then I'll tell you later. But we ready to go? So yeah, I just realized though, some of the stuff, Ginger, you're gonna get to hear the same story I told yesterday, but oh well. I didn't think that through.
Actually, yesterday's stories I've heard before too in the.
Oh, that's probably true.
In the PK.
All right, well, anyway. Well, today's a review, so anyway. Okay, so team 3, you guys choose where you want to go first.
Contract 600.
All right, contracts for 600. Here we go. Now remember, anybody can buzz in. Let me make sure I cleared the buzzers, and we'll go with it.
Okay, Ginger, got help.
All right, here's the question. Not illiterate, minor, insane, alien, or deceased. So I'll give you a hint if I need to. All right, we got team 1 that's buzzed in. So team 1,
What is voidable?
okay, why?
Because if any of those elements are present in a member of the contract, it's a voidable contract for at least that person.
Okay, good. So what's the term called for that person?
For that person?
Yeah. Or, and meaning like, okay, so let me give you a little bit of a more background on this. Under contracts, we're talking about what the elements of a contract. So in order for a contract to be valid is what this is referring to, is that the person can't be illiterate, minor, insane, alien, or deceased. So what, there's a term that you should have learned.
Capable.
Let's see.
Capable.
Are you guys answering for team 1?
There you go. No,
Sorry.
we're. You guys can't
I'm
talk.
not listening.
Yeah, keep going.
Is it a competency?
All right. Close enough. Since it's the first one, I'll give it to you. Close enough.
Is it principal?
It's legally competent parties.
Okay.
So they have to be legally competent, which is, you summed it up
Yeah.
exactly right, which is why I say I will give you the points. Which team were you guys? 1?
1.
Okay, so that's why I'm giving you the points, is you summed it up properly, but just kind of know as we go through on these, under the contract section, what we're going to be looking for is the terms that, yeah, the legal terminology for the elements of a contract, okay? So now, with this, as a reminder, because I did tell this story, but I'll just remind you on it again. I had shared with you guys the story about the agent that had gone out and gotten a listing from the guy, and then we found out later on his mom was on title as well.
Yeah.
And what the mom, and I don't know if I said this when I told you guys the story, but what we found out when the mom came back from her 2-week cruise, which I don't think she was even really on, but when the mom came back, what she had said is he's not legally competent. So the contract was in his name initially when they bought the property, which is why I think on the county records it showed just his name. but they had gone and done a quitclaim deed later on that for whatever reason didn't get added on to the contract. And so the mom came back saying he was not a legally competent party, so you shouldn't even have been doing this anyway.
Is there any kind of documented proof or something like that? I mean, other than just its mother's opinion?
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's part of the challenge. So ultimately, that's what I would say is, so how do you know then? Because you're right. How would we know other than I guess if you go out to list a property and you feel like, I'm not sure this person's all there, is
Right,
when.
and that's
but-
obvious, but sometimes these things are not
Yeah.
obvious from just observation, you know, an agent or a short meeting with the,
Yep.
you know, with this,
I
oh,
went through that.
client, you know, so.
Yeah, and that's exactly in this scenario, that is exactly what it was it was a scenario where I asked the agent, I'm like, well, didn't you notice maybe if he was a little off or anything? And he said, honestly, no, he seemed very normal to me, but the mom, like I said, was very upset with us because she was saying, hey, he's not.
But I could even see like in a divorce situation where you've got a really, both are on title and you've got a really vindictive maybe spouse, you know, or a former spouse or something, and they might make that claim, like, no, they can't, they're not competent, I'm the one that gets to
Yeah,
sign
Yeah.
that. So you would have to then get some kind of legal documented proof, I would think, from the court or something.
yeah, and that's a great question. I'll have to find out on that because I don't know how that it would exactly exist, so. It's a good point.
Usually needs to be from the doctor that he's incompetent or whatever. There's a letter that actually we can have from that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. All right,
Okay,
good job. So you guys got it. So, all right.
I got pretty close, but I say capable.
All right, cross your feet. Okay, good. It blocked them out. So yesterday this was not working. Of course, it was a different version of the game, but yeah, it made it very difficult. So, okay. So team 3, you guys, or 1, I mean, you guys got it. So you get to choose the next category.
Federal laws for 1,000.
Oh, wow.
Big time, here we go.
Big money. Here we go.
Ooh,
All right, let me clear the buzzers, make sure.
I've been out of school for a while, I'm not sure.
I know.
I just took the test.
I know, exactly. That's why you're smart to do this.
this is
Okay,
very
first one to
complex.
buzz in. Here we go. Answer is issues relating to noise, air quality, water, wildlife, etc. This one's actually this one's 1,000 points, but it's also you're making it harder than it needs to be. That's your hint I'll give you. All right. You were the first one
I
again.
know, I just don't think it's gonna be enough. Pollution, what is pollution?
Okay, you
But
got
there's probably a federal law.
so yeah, if you're
Regarding-
thinking federally about that, what would that mean?
Well, I know, but,
So go for it.
no, well,
She's gonna wait till she's gotta wait till you lose 1,000 points first.
Well, that would be fair.
So buzz in. You gotta buzz in, Ginger, because I don't have any.
but
no-
I might lose it
Go,
though. I have
go,
to-
Go ahead.
We're confident in you.
Well, hang on. I'm gonna keep going here with team 1 for a second.
We're the online.
Do you wanna
people. This is
discuss-
Team 1.
Anybody on Zoom from team 1 want to help out?
I just can't think of the term.
Yeah, there's a term for it. So you're exactly
All these
right.
terms are so difficult to issues related.
It would be a federally
Give
thing.
us a clue.
All right, so
A little clue.
I have been giving you clues.
A little bit more.
But you're team 3. You don't want a clue for team 1, do you?
That's right. That's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, 5, 4. Somebody on Zoom, help her out. You guys are about to go.
5,
Because
4,
we're about to go through.
3.
You're about to go negative 400.
0.
Now, so tell me what you said though. I gotta decide if it's close enough.
What is pollution?
That's not right.
That's
But
all
in the
right.
context of
How do you
federal
know,
laws,
Ed? Do you know what the answer is?
it's-
Well, I buzzed in
Rest.
second, but I don't know
Yes,
if
you
I'm
did.
right.
All right, well, let me minus.
We have
Yeah,
confidence in
sorry.
you, Ginger.
All
Yeah, I
right,
don't
Ginger,
know.
go for it.
I got one wrong yesterday.
She got 1 wrong. So. All right, do you want to go? Team 3 was next.
What is environmental quality?
Ooh, very
Sounds
close.
legit, that sounds
Probably
legit.
close enough.
What's the-
Unless you guys argue with me, I'm gonna say it's close enough.
What's the answer?
Environmental Protection Agency?
Yes.
EPA.
The EPA.
Oh,
All right.
EPA.
Wait, what team? You guys are 3, right?
Just crawl over here in a hole for not getting that one.
I just feel like the answer should be who presides over issues relating to.
No, because if you remember in Jeopardy, that would be the question: is who presides over it?
Oh, the
And
answer.
is
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. You can argue with
No,
me.
I'm not gonna argue with anybody.
No,
Okay,
argue with me.
whatever.
That's what I remember. I said it makes it fun is when we start getting
Well,
competitive.
issues does mean I would kind of agree with what she said, because I think issues relates to a quality or an issue, not an entity.
All
Where your
right,
answer is an
fine.
entity.
I like this lady a lot.
Yeah.
Fine. So you're saying I should give her the points and
No,
take them away from
No,
this?
everybody loves an underdog story. We got this.
No,
Okay.
I said the word environmental.
I know, that's the only reason I
Yeah,
gave
that's
it to
why.
you, so, all right.
Three gets the points.
So we got a point?
Yep.
All right, woo-hoo.
Well, she just wants to win.
I know. All right,
There's a big prize at the end, right, Russ?
yes.
Ryan's going to pay for lunch.
Ginger knows
today.
what it is too, so. All right, we ready? Because it's the same prize as yesterday, so. Okay, so team 3, choose the next category.
Let's go agency, first agency on the left, 200.
All right,
All right.
all right, this is where we may get some of your repeats from yesterday, but we'll see. Answer is proper time to disclose who you represent. Oh, this one wasn't on there yesterday. All right, Ginger was first on this one. So proper time to disclose who you represent.
Before you write an offer.
Okay.
Oh, what?
Any other?
No, we don't
I
have.
just don't know
When
how to
is-
write.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be that straight.
What is immediately?
Okay,
No,
so
well-
you guys want to discuss amongst yourself, give me your
Yeah.
final answer.
Okay. Yeah, well, as soon as an agency agreement is signed.
Okay, give me your final answer.
What's our final answer, team 3?
Come on, Zoom, get involved here.
Immediately, Ginger? As soon as you
Proper
meet
time
someone.
to disclose who you represent.
Hi, I'm so-and-so, I represent the fire.
Yeah, but you have to have a signed buyer broker agreement to say that.
Yeah, but you declare who you represent to any possible.
I think it's when you
Person.
sign the contract.
You're gonna disclose it as soon as you have a buyer broker agreement signed and
I think it's when,
you're, yeah, and you're,
because
And-
it
and
says,
you're-
it says you represent.
and you're writing an offer or talking to another agent.
When you say that.
Okay, so give me a final answer.
There's a few
Well,
things.
here's the thing, it's already saying that you are representing someone. So you have to disclose it immediately upon meeting anyone that's asking about the property or who you are.
That's our answer.
It could be.
Final answer?
That's our
That's our
final
final
answer.
answer. Good job. That was good decision. So here's what ultimately how the rule is written. Let me see this. Just see what we're getting. I'm not doing a very good job on the chat box, guys, so if you can unmute would be better. Or somebody else unmute and tell me.
Yeah, because he's got too many things he's
Yeah.
keeping track of.
So, but okay.
All of us keep track of.
So let's see. So this is, you're getting.
I'll keep score for 400 points for my team.
Will you? All right. Okay, so here's what, so ultimately now remember what we're talking about today is along the lines of from a division standpoint. So from the division, the way the rule states is that prior to executing a binding agreement, but the intent behind the law was to be as soon as practical. So the truth is I was going to give you credit either way, whatever you guys want with, because it says prior to executing a binding agreement, which is basically
And I said
what.
prior to writing an offer.
That's right. But then Ed was also saying as soon as you come in contact. But so here's the idea of this though, is let's assume that you're holding an open house, okay? And at the open house, if it's your listing, who do you represent? The seller. But a buyer walks in. Does a buyer understand when they walk in that you are there as an agent of the seller?
Not usually.
What do they think you're there for?
For them, give them a tour.
That's right. They think you're there to sell them the house.
Right.
Now, if you stopped and asked a few questions of them, you might eventually land on that they would go, oh yeah, I get it, that you're representing the seller. But what I mean by this is, if you walk into a department store, you don't think about, oh, the person at the department store is representing the company. You think they're just going to try to sell me some clothes. Or if you go to buy a car, that they're just going to try to get me to buy a car. So the public walking into an open house doesn't realize all of our fiduciary duties. And so here's kind of the point is, they don't understand if they walk in. So Lourdes, let's say I walked into your open house, I might start telling you, yeah, we got to find a property like right away. And like, we're in a rush. And like, all of a sudden I'm disclosing all of this stuff to Lourdes, that because she has a fiduciary duty to her seller, should immediately after this open house be telling the seller, yeah, I had this buyer come through and they're interested and it's a job transfer and there's no properties out there and they're feeling pressured and rushed in to get it. So if they give us an offer, we probably could really, negotiate and I don't want to say take advantage, but, get a high price. Does that make sense? So that's the idea of the division of saying this is, technically the way that the rule is written is prior to executing a binding agreement with them, you need to do it. But the intent behind it is to keep that buyer walking into an open house on the same even footing that they, without disclosing a bunch of stuff. So does that make sense what I'm saying? So that's kind of the idea. Now, our code of ethics, on the other hand, though, we had this discussion about that I have said to you guys, I just am of a belief of, I never ask, are you working with an agent? Instead, I ask for an appointment. And if they're working with an agent, what should they say when I say, hey, would there be a time we could get together and talk more about what you're wanting to accomplish? If they're really working with an agent, what are they going to say?
I have
Already.
Yeah, they're going to then say, I've got an agent. So, but I've just learned, if you ask somebody, are you working with an agent? I can't tell you how many times I've said that then they've said no. I drive out to my listing to meet them, and then they get out of the car with their agent. And you're like, I thought you said you didn't have an agent. So my point is, they'll lie. They'll say, and in fact, I actually, trying to think, I've got a story about that. I don't know if it's going to come up in one of the other, I don't think it's going to. But I sat in on an arbitration between two agents on a commission at the board. And after it was over, we ended up giving the commission to one agent rather than the other one. And part of the issue was the agent who we gave the commission to asked multiple times. So they asked him when they first got on the phone, are you working with an agent? They said no. Then prior to writing a binding agreement, so prior to doing the buyer broker and writing the offer, the agent again said, have you signed one of these? They said no. Now the truth was they had, but because it was done through a DocuSign, and they thought again, the public doesn't understand. They just thought, well, we just were clicking buttons to sign on this offer, which there's a whole bunch more detail that's kind of interesting, but I'm going to save that for another time.
Accidentally, I press.
That's fine. I'll clear you up.
So Russ, I mean, what I was taught in classes was as soon as you meet someone in a real estate setting, right? You're either at an open house or you've got your badge on or whatever, and they kind of get a clue that you're an agent already. You need to disclose that you're actually who you're representing right there. So there's no question, no doubt, and they will, hold their cards close to the vest if they're not going to open their mouth about stuff or, lead you on or whatever.
Yeah. So if you're just out though, if you just had a name tag on and you're over at Chick-fil-A and you meet somebody, you don't need to tell them, look, here's the list of clients that I represent, but the idea though, again, is more tied to somebody calls you on the phone about one of your listings and is saying that, hey, can you tell me more about this? So ultimately, here's what I would say is you don't need to stress about like immediately saying something, but again, the intent, if you look at the intent of the law was as soon as practical. But for me, I would say just before they start to tell you things, so before they're going to start saying things to you that could jeopardize their position is when you want to say, okay, let me make sure you understand that I'm representing the seller. You want to come teach, Sam? We're talking about law stuff. What?
I always want to come teach.
Yeah, I'm
Do
sure.
what I gotta go do.
All right. Anything you want to say to these guys and the Zoom?
Hi, everybody. How are you? This is a good class, though.
Well,
Yes,
this
it
isn't the
is.
mandatory residential. This is the 12-hour. This is finishing up the 12-hour new agent. So.
I'm sorry. Hang in there.
All right. Okay, so team 3 got that, right? Yep. All right. We're gonna mix it up a little bit here then. And here's what we're gonna do. So now it's gonna be the third person to buzz in. So let me clear them all out. All right, team 3, choose the next category.
And choose the next.
Okay,
category, Dawn.
let's go for state laws for 600.
All right. Hey, I'm surprised. Usually that column is like the last ones. The federal laws and state laws seems to be the last one. All right, so it's the third group to buzz in.
600.
Here we go. 600. Gift given by an agent or a broker to a buyer or a seller. Now, this one I'm looking for a term, so I'll tell you guys I'm looking for a term. You don't have to get it exactly right because there's no way you probably will, but you got to get it pretty close to correct. So I'm still waiting for buzzer number 3 to go off. So, okay, there it is. All right, Ginger. She's pretty good at timing this. All right, a gift. So before you answer, a gift given by an agent or a broker to a buyer or a seller. What is that called?
Unsolicited referral from a non-licensee.
Okay, final answer.
Yes.
All right,
That should be 1,000 points.
Yes.
especially except for it's wrong.
What?
I mean, it should not be another.
Gotta be something close to that.
I kind of tricked you on this one a little.
Ah,
I tricked you.
Oh,
And the
I
answer-
see.
Gift
what it
given,
is.
yeah, gift given by an agent or a broker to a buyer or seller. Okay, so team 1
Referral fee.
I
The
don't know.
referral
was,
fee.
I
was
didn't
the
read it carefully.
next one's to buzz in. So team 1, what do you got?
What do you think?
Or do you want to answer? You want me to?
I would
Should I
say.
clear the buzzers and let it start over again?
Will anybody click in though? And now we're all nervous. I don't know, what do you think? We're already in the hole, what the heck?
If you guys don't want to, we'll go to team 4 because they buzzed in
Well, the first
too.
thing I went to was referral, but that's to a buyer or seller, so that's gonna take that one out.
Which is good business practice, if it's under a certain amount of money.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Yes,
You
What,
sure?
no.
Okay.
what is something
I'm
not
just saying,
over
You're gonna keep
150?
going the other
I
direction.
said good business.
I'm trying to protect you. All right, team 4, somebody on Zoom. We don't have any team 4 in the here. Are you guys 4? Oh, you guys are 4.
What is a closing gift?
What?
What is a closing gift?
Close enough.
What?
Yeah, I realized my mistake.
All right, who was that and which team are you on?
It's Adrian, team 4.
Adrian, okay, good job. All
Oh,
right.
it says
600 points.
AWOL. Sorry about that.
You're what?
It says AWOL. It asked me for my nickname.
Oh, that's fine. No, that's good. I knew that's who buzzed in. I just wasn't sure who answered.
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about this for a minute.
Gee, fancy
So
words.
the proper term, I know, that's why I said I'm not gonna force you to get it, but by her saying closing gift, I'm like, close enough. All right, so yeah, a gift given by an agent or a broker to a buyer or seller is in the terms of the division, they would call that gifts and inducements. Now, so let me ask you this as a follow-up question to it. What's the amount, the most that you could spend on that?
$300.
250.
150.
300.
So I've heard 300, 150, 250.
Since it's after the
300.
deal and it's like a thank you, it's not under the same.
It
Like a
doesn't fall
referral,
underneath the same
right?
referral.
It says
That is correct.
$300. It says $300 the highest that you can go.
Nope,
No?
You can
Up
do
to-
whatever you want, right? 'Cause it's a gift.
that's right. There is no limit on
No
this.
limit, really?
There's no limit on this.
Because the referral is the one that they're trying to clamp down.
Oh,
on.
the
Yes.
referral.
So on this one, there is no limit. And the reason is, here's why. So the reason it says gifts and inducements is, think about it this way. If somebody goes in, a discount broker goes out there and says, I'll list your home for $1,200. I mean, that's an inducement. So if you just say, well, no, 6%'s the, normal, quote unquote, which is not, but you said 6% and they're doing it for 1,200, all of a sudden, so an inducement could be anything. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you can't say, list your house with me and I'll give you a vacation.
Why?
You can.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can say, I'll give you.
Yep.
I'll give
Trip,
you a-
all expense paid trip to Hawaii.
4-day cruise if you.
Yep. List
if
your
you
home with
list
me.
your home with me.
Yep.
And close it. It has to be closed too, doesn't it?
No, you could just,
Can
Wouldn't
you
that be
say,
great? if
you
it's
could
not?
say list your home with me and I'll,
can you say also
I
to
thought
be
you
able to
could
pay the
not do
appraisal?
easements like that.
nope, you can.
Could you say to pay the appraisal? Can I pay your appraisal?
Yes.
too Also, okay.
Yep.
Well, it would be hard to limit it because a gift for maybe a $300,000 home might be different than the gift you give someone on a $3 million.
So here's the idea. So the reason, and I know sometimes people will struggle with this, but because we've been trained about, the other one is a question on here, so I don't want to give it away, although it's the piece you guys are somewhat thinking about is that there's a limit. There is a limit for the unsolicited referral,
Unsolicited.
but there's no limit to what you could say to somebody. In fact, there used to be a billboard on I-15 that was like, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was like. List your house with me and you'll get, and it was like a trip somewhere. I can't remember where it was, Hawaii or something, but there was some type of a like, you get a trip for two or
Cruise.
something. I don't know. So you could do, I'll buy you a TV, or which is not that much anymore, but there used to be a guy that would at the Jordan Commons movie theaters when it'd go into the bathroom. So for you ladies in the men's at the urinal, there was advertisements that you could look at up there, and there's an agent, and I don't know if they're still there or not, but it would say list your home with me and qualify for a all expense lease on a Lexus or something like that. So on the gifts and inducements, you could do whatever you want. Now, there is one caveat to that. And here's what it is if you're representing the buyer and you're going to do some type of a gift, the seller has to be aware that you're doing that.
Oh, really?
And I don't know that anybody does that,
Yeah.
but there is, because the seller is the one paying the commission. If you're representing the buyer and you were to give away part of the commission to the buyer for anything, technically, you don't have to have permission, but you have to tell the seller that you're doing it.
But where does that, I mean, I've never done that when I'm giving the buyer a closing gift, a gift basket. I'm not disclosing to the seller. Are you saying I should be?
Technically, and again, I don't know that you're ever gonna get in trouble for it, but technically, if you're using part of the commission, so I think that part of it, giving them a gift basket, you could potentially argue I didn't use the commission because I gave it to them.
Right, that's
at closing.
under my operating expenses budget, and that was from
Exactly.
commission from 2 deals
Exactly.
before.
So that's why I say I wouldn't worry about doing that. But if you were going to do some type of a, hey, if you buy the house with me, I'm going to pay for you to go to Hawaii or whatever. Technically, you have to tell the seller. You don't have to have permission. You just have to tell them.
Sometimes if it's family, you want to help out with the closing costs, and sometimes you can be able to deduct some from your commission. Can we be able to just?
Yeah. So technically, you should tell the seller we're giving part of the commission to the buyer. You don't have to get their permission. Just
We don't need to have an addendum or anything like that.
just technically, but like I said, I would be shocked if anybody's ever been in
Yeah.
trouble for doing
Never
that.
heard that.
But that's what it does say. You have to give them notice or whatever.
It almost sounds like you have to advertise the fact that you're doing that before, like I'm giving away a free Hawaii trip, blah, 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 blah. I have to tell the seller that that's my advertisement. That's kind of how I'm gaining buyers and
Yeah.
stuff, so they know that. But if I don't say anything about it to anybody and they're just my buyer and I just out of my own heart do it, I don't need to tell the seller that, it almost sounds like. Because
Yeah.
I'm just deciding to do it.
Yeah,
It's just me. I'm
that's what I'm
advertising.
saying is that's
did
why I
that
think
way.
it's such a fuzzy area that I'm guessing nobody's ever really been disciplined for it. But if you're because the seller's paying the commission, if you're the buyer's agent, you have to share with them what you're doing part of with it. So. Anyway.
So if you're just
So,
using it.
but no limit to gifts and inducements, meaning that it's no different than if I just said, if you list your house with me, I won't even charge you a commission. I mean, you could do that. There's nothing stopping you from doing that, right? So that's the idea of this gifts and inducements. So a gift is basically just, and maybe that's the difference, I guess. I don't know for sure. But the gift is like, hey, you bought a house with me. Here's a gift basket. Thank you for buying a home with me. and you can spend any amount of money you want to on that gift.
So what about the other gift, the other referral?
Well, hold tight, we have another question on here for that. So wait till that one and we'll talk about it. All right, did I give you guys your points? I did, right? Because it was
Yes.
team 4. All right. Team 1, we gotta get you out of the negative.
All right, what are we negative, 400?
I don't know, but team 4 gets to choose, so.
Oh, team 4, so that's not it.
That's not us.
All right,
How many buzzers
Adrian
do you-
or,
Can you clear the buzzers?
oh yes, I'm sorry, thank you.
How about agency for 800?
All right, agency for 800, here we go. We'll go with the third person to buzz in. Obligates the agent to inform the principal of any material fact the agent learns about. We might have to go with the first person to buzz in since, no, there we go, there we go, there we go. All right, team 1. It was Dakota.
Yeah, not a final answer, but I'm thinking, what is fiduciary duty?
Okay, so does
Rob
people want to
disclosure.
talk about it?
More disclosure.
Because it's your fiduciary duty to disclose material facts.
Yeah,
So what's gonna be your final answer?
because if they tell us something that I don't want them to know that the roof leaks, so let's list the house during the summer, and I don't want to show up during a rainstorm. We have to tell them that, hey, there's a possibility this roof's gonna leak.
So Dakota, can you hear Jerry?
Not really.
Okay. And what you're saying loud.
So, for example, in that, if there's a house, and we know that if there is a roof leak, we only want to go the whole
Hold on. I gotta get somebody playing the.
good music going.
There we go.
So he only wants to show the home on days that it's not raining, so that it doesn't disclose that there's a roof that leaks. If they tell that to us, we have to disclose that. If we know it, we have to disclose it. And I think that's where this is in it, but I think you're looking for a term. Yeah.
The raised eyebrows is
Is a clue, yes.
So what's final answer, team 1?
That's.
Unmute, is he telling you?
Go ahead, Dakota.
I still think what I said is going to be close enough, but there's a lot of background noise, so I couldn't really hear what he was saying.
So Jerry was saying basically that if you find out something you have to disclose, one of your fiduciary duties is the full disclosure.
I think.
Yeah, that is one of your fiduciary duties. So what is full disclosure?
So is that the final answer?
Yeah.
All right.
You
Good
guys
job.
don't know how much that Russ just helps you
Yeah.
get the answer.
I was nice to you guys.
Yeah.
All right, we gotta
We'll
buy,
take it.
we gotta buy Russ lunch, all
Because
right.
I made the same mistake yesterday. I was too broad. The first question that came, I was too
Yeah,
broad.
and-
Good job, guys.
Fiduciary duty, and he was looking for the specific.
Yeah,
fiduciary
so
duty.
here's the thing. We're gonna be looking for specific fiduciary duties. What'd you say, Dakota?
Oh, I just said good job, team 1.
Oh. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job that you got it. Okay, yeah. So so on this is, and some of the key things on here that it says is obligates the agent to inform the principal of any material fact that they learn about it. So yes, that is one of the fiduciary duties when you look at that, but ultimately what we wanted to land on is this. So anything that you know, you have to tell to your client. So back to what I was saying before, of that's the reason, if I'm sitting in open house and Lourdes walks in and she starts telling me, yeah, we got to buy this house and blah, 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 I have to actually, I'm obligated to tell my seller that. That makes sense? So I'm obligated to go back and say, hey, we had these people come through and here's what they said. So if they give us an offer, it's going to be, you're going to be able to really negotiate well. So, okay. Good job. Team 1, back to you guys. You're out of the hole. We gotta get team 2 on the board. Is there anybody? I have no in-person team 2 people. I see Jordan, Chad, all right. Okay, so team 1 got that. So you guys choose the next, right? Go.
You do it. I've let us straight every time.
So,
Let's go federal laws for 400.
the first clue should have been how nervous she was.
Like I'm sweating.
All right, what are you doing?
Federal laws for 400.
All right, federal laws for 400. Here we go.
No, you clicked on
You
state
clicked on
law.
state law. That's all right.
Oh.
That's all right.
Well, we're doing state laws now because I can't fix it. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
All right. We will go with the second person to vote. Here we go. Answer is use of 2 or more contracts, one of which is concealed. So we're looking for a term for that, okay? All right, team 1, Bethany.
Is that what is a double contract?
Final answer? Or do you guys want to discuss for a minute? Rachel's
I don't
like,
know.
thumbs up. Go
Yes.
for it.
Yes. go.
Where have you been the whole
Final
time,
answer.
Bethany? So
Sorry.
quiet.
Final answer?
Yes.
All right, good job. Double contracts, good. Okay, so here's, this actually is pretty relevant even right now. So let me, I'm gonna talk about this one for a minute. I mean, I would have anyway, but. All right. Here's the frustrating thing is that you're probably looking up there like, why aren't we just keeping track on the board? Those don't work. I wish that it did. You can click on the plus 100 or minus and it doesn't work. All right, is there, if there's anything in the chat that I need to see, somebody tell me. Because okay, you agree, okay. Good. All right, okay, so here's the thing. So I'm gonna give you a couple of different examples of this that, one of them I'm gonna give you a really good idea, but you'd have to be really, well, both of them are really good ideas. Both of which work as long as you follow the law, but could be very easily turn into a double contract, okay? So let me give you the first one. And this happened years ago. Is what happened was this, and the first time I remember hearing about it, this was probably 1999 even. So what happened though is I remember an agent coming into the office and saying, I got this idea that I heard about that is like a genius idea. And I was like, okay, what's that? And he said, so, and we'll use the example of 100,000. Well, actually, I'm going to start with an $80,000 property just to make the math easy for you. He said, okay, let's assume that you have a listing that's for 80,000. They said, you know, you're going to have to pay mortgage insurance on that. And in order for your client to not have to pay mortgage insurance, here's the idea that I have. We're going to go offer to the seller that we'll buy their property for 100,000 instead of 80. And then we're going to ask them to do a 20% carryback so that they will do a seller finance for $20,000. So we're going to offer 100,000. We'll do a seller finance for 20,000. That way they're putting 20% down on the property. They can buy the property for 80,000 and not have mortgage insurance. And then we'll just have the seller forgive the note after the closing. And it was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. It's a great way to get into a property without mortgage insurance. What's the problem with that?
It's not completely honest.
Well, so far,
Overrating real estate,
so,
like
here,
all kinds of.
well, could you do that? Let me rephrase it. Let me ask it this way. It is possible.
You can.
Could the seller do a $20,000 note on the property, seller finance on the property?
Yes.
Could they forgive the note if they chose to?
Yes.
So that's a good question. So where do we get ourselves in trouble on this?
You planned it ahead
Well,
of
the
time.
lender.
Yeah, it's all arranged and planned from the very beginning. It's not an afterthought. We decided to forgive that. We're not-
Okay, good. Yeah, and actually you could even do it with it being agreed to up front, as long as the lender
The
knows.
lender knows.
If the lender knows, you can do really pretty much anything as long as the lender knows.
Yep.
But the problem is, yeah, but what was happening was what people were saying is, let's do this, but then not tell the lender. So I had an agent from our office this week come into my office and say, I have this idea.
because he said, I'm struggling with getting offers accepted. And he said, I've got an idea that I'm wondering if it would work. And he was coming to me with the idea of, tell me if there's anything wrong with what I'm saying. And I said, okay. And he said, here, we're struggling to get our offers accepted from our buyers. What if what I did is went in and said, we will buy the property for X and what, 50,000 above list price, whatever it was, okay? We'll buy it for $50,000 more than what your list price is. And whatever the property appraises for is what we will go get the loan for. And then whatever above that, so let's just say that you offered 50,000 above and it appraised for only 25,000 above. He said, what if what we said to the seller is we'll sign a note with you that we will make payments to you on the other 25,000 amortized over 30 years. Could we do that?
Yeah. As long as the lender.
If the seller agrees with it.
Yeah, as long as the seller agrees with it, and as long as the lender knows, no problem, you could totally do that. So I think that is a solution that potentially you could look at. Now, here's the key though. And I haven't talked to the lender to see, but it's going to affect their debt to income ratio because the lender is going to look at that and say, okay, now there's an additional debt. So I guess think of it this way. That is an idea of a way you could potentially go and get some properties under contract, but essentially your buyer is going to have to qualify us for that amount, whatever it is, even though it doesn't appraise for that amount. And then you could do a note to the seller, and you could even put in like a 3-year balloon that, hey, because essentially his thinking was it might increase their payment by $50 or something like that a month on it. I mean, I'm just throwing out random numbers. I haven't made any check to do this, but let's just say essentially it's a way to say, let's get it under the contract for this additional $50 a month. Within 3 years, then go refinance it because probably in a few months from now, we're going to see pricing. But that's the thing you would want to make sure you explain to your seller. At some point, we're going to quit doing this. And so you do run the risk that if it didn't, you might have to come up with the money in 3 years. And if they can't, then you get a new listing. So that's great.
Yeah.
I was going to say it took a minute I'm joking. So anyway, here's the key. You could do any of those things we just talked about, but you got to make sure to lend it. And so my concern with me telling you this is I can see that's going to be the next thing that's going to happen is agents are going to go, that's a great idea of we'll sign this note with the seller, but then try to not have the lender know about it because then it won't affect their debt to income ratio because it would go into effect after we closed and blah, blah. But just know double contracts are a no-no. Anything that's not disclosed. So let me I'll give you an example of what I told you guys about this property in Draper that I just helped the buyer get. That we did the lease back where they're going to let them stay in the property for longer. When we put that together and I sent it to the lender, the loan officer told me, I'm not going to submit this to the underwriter. Which I did my job by providing it to the loan officer. If the loan officer doesn't give it to the underwriter, that's on them. But honestly, I looked at that and was like, that's not right to do that. She said, it's not a problem. And I don't think it would have been a problem. She said, it just makes my life easier to not have to go through the whole lease back thing. So I'm just not going to submit it to the underwriter. And I was like, well, that's your call. But to me, that would be a double contract.
Well, it's more than 60 days that most lenders.
Yeah. And I think that's why she probably was saying, I'm not going to submit it. Even though she didn't want to say that to me, but I just said, well, here's your copy. You do whatever you're going to do with it. I'm providing it to the loan officer. So I gave it to them. If they don't, she doesn't do it, that's on her. So is that what you're going to say?
Because you can't lease back for very long before it becomes like an investment property.
Right. Yeah. All right. Did I give you guys points on that? My computer, I left my power cord for my computer in St. George yesterday. As soon as I got done with the class, I jumped in the car and drove home. And as soon as I got home, I pulled my computer out and I went, oh, dang it. Yeah, you
I
did.
don't think you did give them.
Yeah, you did, because they're plus 800 up there, right?
No, that was team one. That was.
That was
different
team one.
that picked This question.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, so who got this one?
I'm thinking team 4 got that, wasn't it?
I thought too, so I think they need.
Who was it that got this one?
Or.
I think it was team
That was
3.
team 1.
Oh, it was team one? Oh, then you did give it to us. Team one?
Yeah, I did, because you guys
Yeah,
went
because I
for it, yeah,
answered the question.
That's being right again.
Okay.
She should get extra points for being right.
for being honest.
Yeah.
No one in team four was like, no, that wasn't
Wasn't
honest.
Yeah, you guys were being awfully quiet. What's going on? Okay. What?
They need to participate.
Yeah, I know, that's right. We'll give you some participation points. All right. So team 1 got that, right? Give us another category.
You want to try, we want to be brave?
You
Yes,
went
wanna
a
be
lot
brave.
before.
Yeah, you want a federal.
You said a lot before.
Let's do federal laws for 400.
All right, make sure I click the right one this time.
There you go.
Thank you. All right, here we go. And let me make sure the buzzers are clear. A bunch of you guys are disconnected, so make sure you get back connected unless you just don't care. All right. Answer is, we'll go with the second person to buzz. Truth in lending. Ooh, this was a tough
Oh,
one.
my goodness.
So I'm gonna probably have to explain a little bit on this one.
Well, there's a lot of different answers.
I know.
You can say, what is the law?
So, okay, yeah, so what, here's how we'll do it. Which act? There's your hint. Which act does truth in lending fall under?
I chimed in.
Okay, well.
Okay, so let's see.
You got
Oh, team 1,
You got it?
you're
Regulation
the
B.
second one to buzz in. Ed was first.
Regulation B. Every time I was studying, I would just call it Tila Z. Tila
Okay, but I'm giving you, here's your hint. It's the act that this falls under.
What is RESPA?
So talk amongst yourself, but it's this probably should be 1,000 points, but it's,
Okay, we'll take it. You're right.
what if you get it wrong?
That's only 400.
So I'm gonna give you the hint one more time and then the 5 seconds to answer. The very last word is gonna be act. So
There we go. He
Just-
said it.
so you're gonna go with RESPA as your final answer?
Yeah.
TRID.
Oh, no.
Yes, it is.
Oh, no, you're right. One number.
It's not good.
Oh, yeah. Incorrect. Does somebody else want to try?
I was the next one to buzz in.
All right, go ahead. She's like, that's on you, buddy. She's like, that's on you, buddy. Should I start erasing your?
No, not yet. Come on, man. Is there anybody online that's on team 3?
Who on team 3? I'm sure there's gotta be somebody on. It's team 3.
I don't know, I mean, there's TRID, but TRID doesn't end in the word app.
What's the
TRID.
Nobody's
combined
online?
TRID and
What do you want, the
lending is
number?
something else.
Is that what you need?
It's 701.
701-211.
And it's buzzed in live.
Buzzin.live. All right, you going for it or giving up? This is a hard one. I don't think anybody's ever gotten it right.
Yeah.
Well, that makes
See,
me feel
that's
better.
why I say 3.
It's like when the buyer needs to disclose that they totally,
No.
No, it's an act, it's the name of legislation.
Yep.
Yeah, it's when you are advertising a price for something, you have to disclose the interest rate that's going to be charged and what.
Okay, which act says that?
And so that is, I thought it was the Truth in Lending Act.
So is that your final answer?
I guess I'm the only one saying anything, so I'll go with my gut.
All right.
I got the definition right though, right? Dang it.
Anybody else want to try? I was trying to save you by saying nobody's ever gotten it
I
right.
know, so I was a little bit nervous.
The
Yes.
Federal Consumer Credit Protection.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
it.
I can.
You think it's a baloney?
It's
Which-
one of those things you learn in school that you.
I know. I probably should. I probably should give you credit on RESPA, huh?
Yeah.
No. All right.
School hard enough.
Makes the game more fun when people lose points, right? All right. Since nobody got that one right, it's back to you guys to choose again.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't. But isn't it the team that got it right?
Well, nobody got it right.
All right,
So,
we're going big. We're going for 1,000.
all right, which one?
You pick the category. I pick the red.
Oh, come on.
Yep.
All right, let's go contract.
We'll speak together.
Contracts for 1,000? All right,
Oh, wow.
we're going with the third person to buzz in.
Okay, I just buzzed in already.
She's like, I'll get it out of the way.
I bought
Yeah, see, if you're smart, you'd get 3 people on the team to all go at the same time. Here it is. Answer is meeting of the minds. So now I'll give you a hint before people start answering. And Ginger's the one who was number 3 to buzz in. So what we're looking for is the elements of a contract. So these are the terms that there are 5 elements to a contract. So this is one of those. Didn't you just give us all the answers? I didn't give you the answer.
One of the 5 elements of the contract.
Are you ready?
Yeah, it's one of the 5.
There you go. There's the answer.
No, that would be incorrect. That would be like saying fiduciary duty.
What is acceptance?
Trying to decide if that's close enough.
What'd you say, Russ?
She said acceptance.
What is
Oh, that's wrong.
acceptance?
It's wrong?
Yeah. I got the
Okay,
answer.
so you want to help out, Chad?
It's mutual assent.
Mutual consent.
Assent.
So are you on the same team, Chad?
I'm not. No, I'm
Oh,
on
well,
two.
then you should have waited.
You should still own the answer.
I vote we give it to Chad. You vote to give it to Chad. Which team are you on, Chad?
I'm on 2.
2? All right, we're giving it to them. Then. What the heck? All right.
What is
Oh, I said acceptance.
I know, but except for that it's offer and accept. That's why I was like, it's for mutual consent's nowhere up there.
She had more words right than Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I know.
Acceptance of an offer.
So here, I will admit, I was thinking the same thing as Chad. So how's that? So I was wrong too. So I was wrong too. So minus 1,000 for me.
Offer and acceptance isn't an element of a contract. It's a component of mutual assent.
Yeah, I think.
The elements of the contract are mutual assent, consideration, capacity, legal purpose, enforcement.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Is I think you're right. As I'm remembering this now, Chad. I think I was like nobody ever gets it, so I always switched it to that. So I'll give you both points. How's that?
The full 1,000?
Yeah, what the heck?
Oh, wow.
I got to get team 2 on the board somehow.
All right.
But you are correct.
3.
So all right.
All right.
Thanks, Chad. Because
Yep.
yeah, I think as I was thinking back on that, I had it. I think I had it written that way. Either that or I have another one on there that I may have to go fix this whole thing. All right. Team 2, since we finally heard from you,
Team 2.
pick a category.
Let's go contracts for 800.
All right. He's like, now that I know all the elements of the contract. All right, here we go. Answer is sacrifice and a benefit. You want to just answer? Did I clear the buzzers?
Yeah.
Children and grandchildren. For
That's
10 million.
Oh, that's,
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
would- that was-
Oh,
that
that's
was
good.
good.
That's
There you
good.
go, 10,000. That was pretty good.
That's really good.
I've only
Does that-
sacrificed, I don't need it.
I don't have any benefits.
I
either.
don't either. And marriage is everything.
Me too.
That's a great answer.
Better than just get.
All right, Chad,
I'm here.
you're the third one, Chad, so give us the answer.
What is consideration?
Good job. I don't even trust myself anymore. I'm just gonna go with whatever Chad says. All right, good job.
Like I said, I've been out of school too long.
Yeah.
I was just in it, and this is all like.
Well, which that is the point though of why as part of the 12-hour new agent, that they're like, You need to go review this stuff again, even though you just passed the test, because you.
It's almost like just different terminology.
Yeah, it really is.
It is.
Yeah, I like the test.
We don't even use them.
All right. Good job. Where do you want to go next, Chad? Stay with
Let's
contracts?
go agency for 600.
All right. Agency for 600, not the agency contingent. Right? Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, I gotta clear the buzzers. We're gonna go with the first buzzer this time. Answer is, obligates the agent to place the best interest of the principal above all other interests, including the agent's own interest. And Ginger.
What is loyalty?
I was gonna say, I know she's gonna get this one because.
Yesterday.
I didn't even have to, as soon as I said you answer, you're good. All right. So 600, let me give you your points here. All right. So this was the story that I shared with you guys about going and I think I shared it. I know I did yesterday, but I shared with you guys the story about going and showing a property to somebody and then calling the agent and saying they don't think they're going to make an offer because they would have to pay me the 0.5%. I know I told it yesterday.
You also told her.
I was thinking I probably did. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. I meant to. I usually save that till right now. But anyway.
I didn't hear it.
Yes, you did.
I wasn't yesterday. I did.
Well, but I shared it as part of these. Well, right? Did you?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I heard it
Jerry remembers it?
yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
No, I heard it.
So here's the
I
point.
remember.
You got to put your client's interest above your own. So if you come across something and hey, it looks like this could work out better for me. If like I should buy this property, not my client, you can't do that. You got to. Yeah. So we won't spend any more time. All right. Team 3.
Let's do.
Good luck catching up to team 1 because they're at 11,400.
Right.
Yeah, let's do
Just kidding.
agency for
As good as that was, sorry, Richard. All right. Agency for 4?
Yes.
All right, here we go. I know I probably should just call this column fiduciary duties, but here it goes. Oh, did I clear out the buzzers?
No.
Yeah. All right, we're going with third one again. Second one. Here we go. Answer is obligates the agent to obey all lawful instructions from the principal. Chad. Team 2.
What is obedient?
Good job. And I already shared that story too. I really messed up this class earlier in the process. But all right, wow, team 2 all of a sudden is like come to life. Yeah.
Shut down the Zoom.
What?
Shut down the Zoom.
Yeah, exactly. Shut them off. All right, here we go. Back to you, team 2.
Let's go continued agency for 800.
All right. Answer is, works to assist in negotiating a mutually acceptable transaction between both the buyer and the seller. Oh, and I didn't say who we were going with. So let's see. What number should pick a number between 1 and 4? 4. All right. So the fourth person to ring in was team 3. He keeps, hey, I'm consulting. I'm not doing this all by myself. Don't help them.
I'm a team player.
Don't help them. They're not on your team.
We're all on the same team.
Oh, yeah,
No, we're
yeah.
not. Not for this.
Go with that.
Okay, we'll go with limited agents. All right. Good job. Hey, you know, you never just.
I know, you learn, you don't blurt it out. You can question two
I
or
don't want to
three
get a
times.
minus.
You
All
wanna
right.
be like
What?
team 1.
That was 800, right?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, we got a dog fight going on here. Okay. Good job. So yeah, obviously as a limited agent, you're representing both, trying to put together a transaction between both the buyer and the seller. All right, team 3, back to you guys. Oh, let's go for state laws, 1,000. We're gonna try to catch up. All right. See if you can catch up. What do you mean catch up? You're winning. Oh, you said team 1 has 14 million. Oh, okay.
You give it and take it away.
Exciting check.
Yes, he does.
We're gonna go with the, yeah, that's right. We're gonna go with the third person to buzz in. Here we go. Answer is, all documents reflect the true terms. This one's another one, nobody has ever gotten it right. Oh, great. Thanks for the. So I'll give you some hints. So it might be worth buzzing in. Did I say second person to buzz in? Or
You
third?
said.
First. Did I say?
First, I thought you said.
Who's the third?
I
Okay,
said the third.
okay, well, I'm still waiting then.
Yep. I thought you said the third.
I'll let Paul for it.
All right, team one, team one.
That better have been Bethany.
No, it was Dakota.
Oh, okay. Still trust that.
You gotta get team. All right. Team one, here's your clue. 2 words,
Rhymes with.
you're never gonna get it.
2 words, you're never gonna get it.
No, that's not the clue. So 2 words, the second word is the opposite of one of the words up there. No, the first word is the opposite. And the second, so I'm gonna like make this, you're still not gonna get it.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The answer is 2 words. The first word is the opposite of one of the words up there. The second word is one you're not gonna think of.
Oh my.
So don't go with the obvious. Any guesses?
False something? I don't know.
Team, what?
False anything. That's the only opposite term I can think of is false.
So so,
Russ, when you're ready to open it up, I'll answer it for team 2.
oh, really?
We're not opening it up yet. We're gonna give our best.
So Chad, go for it. If you get it, I will give you double points.
False devices.
What? Oh, wow. Well, how'd you get that?
I'm studied up. I just took the test.
You what?
Have a book.
I just took the test. I've been studying.
Was that, but was false devices on there?
No, but it's in the book.
Wow, do you have your book in front of you?
I don't.
I'm impressed. Nobody has ever gotten that right. Even with me giving, I've given all kinds of hints and I've never had. So good job. I was just thinking I probably needed to change it, but maybe not now. That's right. So here's the idea behind this. That scenario when we were talking about double contracts, the way that you would do a double contract is through a false device. So it's coming up and basically submitting, this is what we're doing to the lender when it's not really what you're doing. So that would actually be called a false device. So wow, I'm impressed. I thought for sure you weren't going to get that, Chad. So good job. Way to go, Chad.
Thank
you. How much?
Double.
I told him I'd give him double.
So how does that work? What is a false device? It's a device where all documents reflect.
Device is another word for document.
Yeah. So basically, it's just saying all documents have to reflect the true terms, and if they don't, it would be considered a false device.
Yes. What is not a false device?
Yeah, this is a true Jeopardy.
No, it's the term is.
Yeah, we're not being that strict. This is false. Yes, you can have 5 points.
All right. Never said.
Oh wait, that's the
Oh,
wrong team.
great. Well,
We'll take it.
Here, I'll give you like that.
pity point.
You're out of here. Team 3.
Yeah, Russ gets out of control with this game. I learned that yesterday.
I know. I'm never going to do it twice in a row.
Really do.
Yeah.
You make it fun, Russ.
Thank you. All right. Team 2.
Let's go
Technically,
with.
I gave it to team 1 because I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Let's go state laws for 800.
All right. First person to buzz in. Did I clear him? Yes. All right. Here we go. Answer is paying an unlicensed person for a referral. Now, before you buzz, well, okay, good. Before you answer, there's a term for it. So I'm looking for the term. So I said first person, right? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is unsolicited?
Is that your final answer?
One unsolicited
What is it you
gift.
said?
Yes.
Unsolicited referral.
Referral, what is it called? Unsolicited referral, the whole thing.
This probably should be worth 1,000.
It's unsolicited, so it's a referral gift.
Final answer.
But wait, you don't pay.
Lord.
You don't, no, not final answer.
Okay.
No,
You don't pay. It's paying
give.
an unlicensed
We
person
give.
for a referral is called illegal.
paying an.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
What is illegal, huh?
You can give a gift, but you can't give anything monetary to an unlicensed person for a referral.
that's not a gift?
Well, can't you give them a thank you, like
I thought we had
under $150?
$250.
And then if it
No,
was
it's
a
not
licensed person,
150.
you have to give it to their broker.
But
Paying an.
Say that again?
Unlicensed person for a referral.
Okay,
That's not a gift?
an unlicensed person gives you a referral. You can give, you can give a non-monetary gift, but not pay them.
Yeah, we don't pay. Paying an unlicensed person for a referral.
Final, what's your final
We
answer?
don't-
Good.
So far, it's all
It
wrong,
must
but,
be a gift.
So far, it's all wrong.
but give me your wrong final
Pay-
answer.
No,
Narrow it down.
paying an
5,
realtor.
4.
Unsolicited gift.
All right, incorrect. Does anybody else want to try?
Shoot.
Nicole from team 2.
I was gonna say the same thing, so I don't know
Don't
anymore.
scratch that. All right, how about if nobody gets it?
What is
Can
Chad,
I
how about
give
you?
it a try?
You've been pulling them out of the hat.
I don't know.
Can
You
I
don't-
give it a
alright.
try? I'm on team 2. I don't
Okay,
know if it's right, but I'll guess.
okay, go ahead.
Unauthorized practice.
No. All right, here we go. It's called a finder's fee.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it though. So you can give to somebody. I heard yesterday from somebody that had been to a recent thing that they said it's now changed to 500. I haven't verified that yet, but it was 250. So you could pay somebody up to $250 as a thank you for an unsolicited referral.
But it would have to be in the form of a gift card, not cash.
I don't know if it matters.
Right? I heard it has to be a gift, which you could do as a
Gift
Visa
card.
gift card, but you can't hand over
Okay.
cash.
Yeah. So let me tell you how I recommend.
That's what I think. it
Yeah,
is.
so here's how I recommend to do it, which would fall into what you're saying, Junior. Here's my recommendation. Anytime somebody gives you a referral, I would recommend that you give them, like, go over, there's a Cold Stone right across the street here. Go over to Cold Stone and buy like a $15 gift card. And anytime anybody just calls you and says, hey, you should call this person, I know they're thinking about buying or selling. Immediately write a thank you card and send them that there. Then let's say I go out and I meet with that person and they sign a buyer broker or they sign a listing agreement with me. Then I go over here to Chili's that I can see across the parking lot here and buy a gift card to Chili's and then send a thank you card to the person. Hey, thanks for referring that person to me. They listed their house with me or they signed a contract that they're going to buy with me. Thank you for doing that. Then they close on the property. Now go over to a Cheesecake Factory or a Market Street Grill or something and buy like $100 or $150 gift card and write, hey, they purchased a home or I helped them sell their house. Thank you for referring those people to me. So that's my recommendation of how to go. So that way you're rewarding people for just giving you a name. You're also rewarding them if they sign a contract, and then you're rewarding them if it closes as well. Like, what a great way to kind of
You're
get
building
people.
a sales team, basically.
That's right. Now, the key thing though on this is it's unsolicited. So make sure you do it every time, because if you don't, if the person called you up and said, hey, Jerry, I referred somebody to you the other day. When do I get my card? Yeah, when do I get my gift card?
Little card.
So like, to some extent, be quick at sending it to them, because as soon as they start expecting it,
Seeing that.
and if they called you and say, hey, so so if I send you more people, can I do that? So every time I send somebody to you, you're going to pay me this? At that point, I would say, unfortunately, I can't commit to that.
I can't answer that.
I just say I can't commit to doing that because.
And you can't
It's
advertise,
voluntarily.
I'm gonna pay you for
Correct.
referrals.
Right.
So what you were saying before is you can advertise an inducement for the actual client, but you can't advertise
Correct.
any kind of a benefit or finder's fee or anything
Perfect.
for somebody
Yep.
referring someone.
That's exactly right. Go ahead.
So I was yesterday, I don't even have my paperwork from the state, so I haven't really been able to do much other than update like my contact info, tell people that I got my real estate license. And one of my friends said my parents are looking to buy a house, I'm gonna let them know, so I can send her a thank you.
Yeah.
Just for
Yep.
saying she's going to recommend.
Yep.
So can you confirm whether or not it has to be a card or something and no cash as well?
I'd have to check and see on that. I don't know for sure that it, but to me, I guess I haven't worried about it because I would say just do it as like a Visa gift card or something, and then it doesn't matter. Either do it as gift cards to restaurants or something, or do it as a Visa gift card, because then I think you would be
Yeah, I
fine.
don't think it can be actual cash.
Yeah. And I'm not sure. Chad, tell us. You seem to know.
I don't know.
All right. Okay. Nope. Did nobody get that one?
Nobody got it.
All right. Who chose that?
I did.
All right. Choose another one.
Go federal laws 800.
All right. Here we go. Answer is unlawful to discriminate. Oops, I got to get the thing pulled back up here. Sorry. Unlawful to discriminate based on any of the following: race, color, religion, sex, national origin. All right. I never said what we were doing, so we'll go with first. Rachel, team one.
Well, I was gonna say all those and then they filled in.
So, well, remember, we're talking about federal laws. So what would be the federal law? Here's the problem is there's two different ones up here that I've got to remember which one this one is.
Oh.
Okay, 1960
Oh, I know what it
was
is.
race.
Okay, yep.
The 1866 was color, right? And 1968. So it's the Federal Discrimination Act of 1968. Did I sound confident?
You did.
Okay, that's good. If anybody wants to amend it, go for it, because I'm sweating right now.
Well, what was that called?
I am also on team one. Can I
Yeah.
contribute?
Please.
There's a couple. There's the Civil Rights Act, the Federal Fair Housing Laws. Any of these sound like they would make sense?
Sounds good.
Federal fair housing sounds good.
Yep. Is that where you're going with final answer?
Doesn't have the word federal in it.
Well, that's okay. Are you going with that as your final answer?
Yeah.
I won't hold federal against you. But it's still wrong.
What? We're team one.
Yeah.
Still wrong?
Yeah.
Well, at least we were all in it together.
You were all in it together.
It wasn't me driving the train off.
So do you want to buzz in again and try a different one?
I mean, you were even right. There was two
I'll
dates
clear
on
that.
because,
All right, team four.
Is it the Civil Rights Act of 64?
Civil rights is correct. Civil Rights Act.
Okay.
Good job. You
So I
guys
think someone on our
you just
team
traded
said civil
places.
rights, and
Did
Yeah,
you
did
get
I-
somebody on?
Did
Yeah,
I not
Bethany
say
was
civil
there.
rights?
I quit. I'm just calling you. I apologize to everyone on team one. My name
Hey,
is
Russ,
My name is Susan.
Russ,
crossed out before name's Susan.
Yeah, I think Gary's gonna bail out.
hey, Russ.
At least it's not Karen. Go
I
ahead.
was
What?
gonna say-
Russ, the Civil Rights Act of 1866 only prohibited discrimination by race. When you added religion, sex, and other things, it was the Fair Housing Act of 1968.
Wow.
Which is almost
That's what I was thinking.
what we said.
I'm gonna have to go back and research all this, Chad. I thought I was right on.
1866.
Yeah, the Civil Rights Act was only based on race.
Wow. All right. Well, I suck again.
Well, I don't think I think even if you don't give us the points, you should take away.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you probably should
There
just
with
give us.
that. But giving is always better.
Here's the problem is now I've got another one that's gonna come up here, so. All right,
Cool, I'm gonna buzz on it.
I'm gonna have to go back.
Feeling good.
All right. Somebody choose.
$1,000.
For what?
For agency.
A new parachute. Agency.
All right.
Get it?
No. No, Chad told me I was wrong again.
Two of them. mention the Civil Rights Act, but there's federal housing as well.
Thing is federal.
It's fair
All right,
housing.
what are we doing? 1,000 for what?
Either one.
Pick one.
All right, let's clear this one out. Here we go. Oh, let me make sure I cleared the buzzers. Okay. Answer is, prohibits the agent from disclosing without permission any information given to the agent by the principal that would likely weaken the principal's bargaining position if it were known. Chad,
What is confidentiality?
good job.
That's on team one. I don't know.
Nope, team two.
Chad.
I shouldn't have given him the double on the one, but I couldn't help it. It was the daily double. All right, where are we going, Chad?
Let's go agency continued for 1,000.
All right. Did
Yeah,
you
clear the
ace the
buzzer.
test, by the way?
What's that?
Did you get 100% on the test?
I don't know what I got on the test.
I know.
It kind
That's
of
the
hurts my
problem.
feelings that I don't think you were asking me that. You didn't even look me in the eye. Oh,
That was awesome. All right. Should I clear your buzzer then?
Yes.
All right. We will go with the second person. Answer is, these become limited in limited agency. I probably did this wrong too, so. All right, Chad.
What is full disclosure, loyalty, and confidentiality?
I think you did.
I know, I'm telling you, I think you did. Good job.
But did you cry?
Did he?
I did.
I don't know, should we ask him? Chad, did you cry when you passed the test?
Yeah, tears of joy. Yep.
All right. That's awesome. All right,
Let's go state laws 200.
man, you guys are like the dark horse that just kind of hung out in the shadows and then came to the spring. Where did you want to go to?
State laws 200.
All right, state laws for 200. Here we go. Answer is, when advertising, the name of the brokerage must be, did I say if we're doing? All right, then we'll go first. Wait, no, I'm not going first. Let's see, team 4. I'm just picking whoever I want.
At least, is it at least half the size font of the realtor's name?
Good job. All right, so here's the law actually has changed on that. So it's no longer that, but I'm intentionally leaving this one up here this way, and you'll see why. Is the way the law is written now is that the name of the brokerage has to be a reasonable size. So define that. Yeah, that's the problem.
Readable.
Yeah, so but the hard part is, so the old law was it had to be half the size of the licensee's name, but they changed it recently to just say it has to be a reasonable size. I've left this as half the size because for me, I'm saying just stick with this and you'll be okay. Yeah, this is.
Sometimes they go like, you can really tell.
Yeah, that's the problem. So the division changes, just said it has to be a reasonable size. And probably, Ed, you're probably right, is like as long as you can read it, but the hard part is because it's going to be so hard to interpret that now, it's going to be just up to the division to decide is that reasonable. I think you're safe if you just say it's got to be at least half the size of your name. Okay? All right. I helped out team 4 a little bit there, but
She said that like verbatim.
I know it was.
I also just got through with the test, but I'm no Chad.
But I'm no Chad.
We should all have t-shirts that just say,
I'm no Chad.
I'm no Chad.
All right, team 4, pick the next one.
Let's see, agency continued for 600.
All right, here we go. No
Declare the
statement.
buzzer.
Oh, sorry. My computer shut off, so hang on. All right, go ahead. No statement or action can result in fraud or misrepresentation. I don't even know if I know what the answer is to this. No statement or action. Oh, I think I know what it is. Okay, Ed, you're the only one that's buzzed in, so you got it.
Oh, man, I was just thinking really obvious, now you made me nervous.
It might be really obvious, so maybe that was my problem.
Okay, well, if no statement or action can result in fraud or misrepresentation, you're being completely honest. You're giving
I think
full
that is,
disclosure and
I think
honesty.
that is what it is, but let's make sure. Good job.
Yay!
Way to go, Ed!
Big one for the team.
Good job. Yeah, so this is not a fiduciary duty, but we have the duty to just be honest to everyone. So they're not a client, they would be considered a customer, right? All right, good job. Where are we going next?
Let's go with federal law 600.
All right. And did I clear the buzzers?
Yes.
Answer is eliminates discrimination against those with disabilities. Again, it's a federal law and it ends with act. Ed.
Okay, so it's the one that the disability is in the act.
Oh. American.
Yeah,
What
it's the Americans with Disability. Act.
What is?
Americans with Disability Act. That's
Good job. All right, good job.
All right, we got another one. That's sweet.
All right, here we go.
Nice to people that won't realize how to teach.
Yeah, but your own team's mad at you, know?
Let's go with agency
No, we're not.
400.
Yes, still not there. Get sacrificed.
I know, that was the best. All right, here we go. Nope, clear. Okay, we'll go with the first person here. Answer is, a real estate broker is deemed to have skill and expertise in real estate matters superior to that of the average person. This is not a true or false. Oh. All right, Ed.
Oh, you
Were you gonna go with true or false?
I was gonna say, what is true?
Well, the second person to buzz in was Ginger, so it's still your team.
All right.
Okay, let's consider what is reasonable care. That's one of the fiduciary duties, but I don't know if that's the right answer.
Final answer?
Why do you hire an agent? Let's see. Yeah, you hire an agent because of their reasonable care and expertise. So why do you hire an agent?
So are you going with why do you hire an agent or reasonable care? Which one? Or you could say both of them together.
That's what I meant. Both of them together.
All right, good job. It's reasonable care.
And diligence.
That's right. All right.
Russ, I learned
I
that
know,
from
I'm ready to get
yesterday's
it over.
class.
with. What?
I learned that from yesterday.
I know. Good job. All right, where do you guys want to go next?
Contracts 400.
All right, is it clear? Okay, we'll go with third person. Legitimate use. Come on, Chad. Oh, he's gonna wait for somebody else to buzz in first. There's one buzz in.
I did
Two
just
buzz
get
in.
over it.
All right, Dakota, team one. I'm looking, remember what we're talking, I thought for sure Chad would jump on this. Elements of a contract. Dakota just buzzed in and wants you guys to answer it.
Yeah, I just buzzed in so Rachel could answer it.
I like you.
She put her hand over. What?
What do we think? Legal purpose?
Final answer?
Yeah.
That sounds-
Close enough.
That sounds good.
Like you said, I've loosened up, so close enough. I'm looking at the clock going, yeah, that's close enough. Legal purpose. Did you say purpose?
Yeah.
Oh, good job. Yes. All right, what team are you?
One.
Oh, yeah.
One with
One with
all the scribbles on
Very
it.
few points. I could get my expressions wrong at this point. We won't
No,
be
it's just like a heart monitor. Your points are,
I'm all over the place.
all right,
Will you clear the buzzers?
yes. Where are we going?
Agency 200.
All right, agency for 200. Here we go. First person.
How do you
Account
know
for
my
all
name's
money
not
or property
Susan?
entrusted to the agent. What?
How do you know my name's not Susan? How's my real name getting out? Terrible.
Because I've said it enough times, I think. That was my real name. All right, Ginger. I said first person, right?
Yeah, I know, and I just want to speed things up.
Me too. That's why I'm being so easy. Just say an answer and it'll be correct.
Account for all money or property entrusted to the agent, fiduciary,
Good job.
accountability, no, the old car.
Like you really
Old car.
Accountability. Well, look, you gave the clue right there in the answer, account.
I know.
Which looked like so obvious, like.
Well, that's why it was a 200-point question.
Okay.
All right, next.
Contracts 200.
All right. Did I clear the buzzers? Nope. All right, first person to buzz in. Answer is in writing. What? That's the easiest one. All right, Adrian.
What is the statute of frauds?
Good job.
Thank you.
Statute of frauds. So on the elements of the contract, like that's kind of the fifth thing is that it has to be in writing. So,
Very good.
ooh, teams 1 and 4 are tied. One question left. You want federal laws? Yeah, why not? All right, here we go. Chad's gonna tell me I'm wrong probably, but here we go. Answer is, all have the same right in every state to purchase property. Oh, I didn't clear buzzers. Okay, go. First one. Dakota. Are you answering or are you waiting for Rachel? Susan, I mean. Karen.
Team effort.
What?
You said it's a team effort, but let me think about this.
Is that federal thing?
Final answer?
Yeah, I don't know. He gets to pick. He gets to pick.
That sound good?
What did you say?
Federal Housing Act. She said fair housing.
More like that.
You go with it?
Yeah.
Good job. Am I right, Chad? Is that good?
That looks good, yeah.
All right. Should we do the final Jeopardy?
Yes, we're gonna bet it all, guys.
It's hard though. Final Jeopardy or just be done?
Be done.
I have one be done. I'll second it. I've already played this game for 3 hours yesterday and 2 hours today now, or an hour and 40. I'm like, I'll do it if you guys want to.
I want just Chad.
You want Chad to bet on it? All right, Chad, what are you gonna wager?
Gonna bet everything in his point total on it.
What are you gonna wager, Chad?
What do we have? Yeah, we'll bet it all, sure.
6,200. Technically,
Okay, go for it.
because I gave you a double. But
Final hazard wager, team 3, what's our final hazard wager?
well, let's
That's
do it
very
all. We
unallocated.
gotta bet it all.
Yeah, we'll go solve it.
You want to bet it all?
We gotta
The
bet it
only way
all.
you win. Well, not really.
I mean, if they only bet, I don't even know what I haven't used this final one for so long. I don't even know that I know what's up there.
This is our double difference.
Should we see what's up there?
You
Yeah,
go
let's see
for
the
it.
question.
We'll do 4,300 points on our end here.
Oh, 4,300, okay, so we'll have 100 left. and we missed
Here's the
some.
problem. So here's the problem. I know why I quit. I hadn't been using this lately because here's the problem. So it used to be 5 years ago, George would constantly be going, you got to do these 5 things. You got to do these 5 things. But over the last 5 years, he still says that from time to time, but he says a different 5 things. So,
Wash your teeth. Take a
so it's,
breath.
so
Obey all public law.
you look in the morning.
Yes, don't die. Don't die.
So we're not gonna.
Violence.
So I'll show you what does anybody want to guess?
I want to know.
All right, well, do you want to
We
guess?
just wanna know.
Okay, prospects 1, good.
Please
Appointment,
Follow
follow up,
Appointments.
appointment, follow up.
Actually, so it's set an appointment. Yep. Every day. Call 3 to 5
Yeah, I'm
SOI.
gonna screenshot
See, I was
it.
gonna say, Lord, you've been here long enough. You should be able to get these. What else? I've heard them too.
go to your fight and fly, follow, please follow up.
Prospect is no on there. Well, prospect is second or fourth.
Follow up.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. I don't know the order.
well, just make them up. Work out every morning. Nope.
No. That's it.
That, but that is kind of someone, he does now,
Yeah.
kind of throw that in.
Yeah, exactly. Improve skill set.
Attend an appointment. That's gonna be on there. Oh, Monday the 6th of the month.
Okay, what else?
You guys changed it.
That's what I said, he's changed it around.
Oh, he's changed it.
That's
I
why
didn't
I
write
put
it
is
down then.
call your sellers every week. And then finally, participate.
Oh.
All right.
I don't have that one.
Well, thanks for being here, guys. Thank you for it. So this will conclude the 12-hour new agent thing. So unfortunately, though, you guys that don't have your license yet, doesn't count. But
I'm gonna cream it the next
you're gonna be
I should've
prepared for
videotaped
the next one. So
I got mine yesterday. I was like this, the
Oh, did you?
final
Good.
hour.
So this one will
Very
count.
happy.
So yeah, I guess thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
So
Thank
next
you, Russ. It's been fun.
Is the title and escrow, so which Crystal's gonna teach, and she'll show you what you need to know about, when you get the PR and how to read it, those type of things. And then Thursday is gonna be relocation class that Heather Barker, who runs our relocation, is just gonna talk about to explain to you guys what relocation is and what it does and how it can help you in your business. So,
Are you doing certificates?
oh, I did not bring any certificates, no, but I will get you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
I would like
have
one
one for
too.
yesterday also.
I will get, yeah, for sure, I'll do that. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't think, I guess because I think the last time I taught this, I don't know if I had anybody in person, so I didn't. Anyway, so yeah, I will get them to you. So for you guys on Zoom, make sure you put in your name and license number in there at least one time. And that's it.
Thank
Yeah, really?
you.
Since I have my license, I just have to redo this as part of the whole.
Yeah, unfortunately, as part of doing the CE, you have to have had your license to get credit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll see you.
Nice to meet you. So you won't, you're done, you've done your.
Well-
You're like every week.
Oh, okay. I've got the 2